Hey everyone, Brian here with Heat Press Nation. In this video, I'll be showing you how to fully sublimate a graphic onto your mug. Please note that these settings can also apply to both your Orca and Dolphin coated mugs. The first and most important thing you want to check is the pressure. The Signature Series mug press has a quad pressure system which has 2 in the front and 2 in the top. Now the reason why this is important is because most 11-ounce mugs, they taper at the very bottom. So you want to make sure you accommodate for that taper where you might get a loss of pressure. First thing we do is insert the mug blank, and it can be hot or it can be cold, it does not matter. You want to put this right in the center and close it and make sure it closes. So as you can see, it's very, very light on the pressure. This means that if I did cook the mug, there wouldn't be any pressure at all, and the transfer would most likely come out faded. So the first thing you want to do is start increasing these knobs. So you want to start by evenly distributing both pressures. And then you want to test again for pressure. So close it down, and now it's getting a little bit firmer. So we're just going to go a little bit more until the pressure can be a lot tighter than that. Once you feel like you've adjusted enough, we're going to go ahead and test it again. Now, as you can see, the pressure is a little bit too tight, so it's okay to open it back up, and we're going to go back the other way just a bit, because the worst thing is you do not want to break that mug. Just want to make sure it's tight enough to where it grabs around it perfectly. There you have it, that's our perfect pressure. When sublimating a full bleed transfer, you want to make sure your image is at the right dimensions for a 11-ounce mug. Right here we have a 3.84 inch by 8.25 inch graphic that we're going to sublimate. And the first thing you want to do when taping this is place the transfer image side down, grab your heat tape, and you want to have a strip on each side. So one strip on this side, and get the other strip on this side. Now once we have our transfer, we're going to go ahead and wrap this around our 11-ounce mug. One thing that's important is to make sure you have a bleed on the top and the bottom of your mug. Then the next thing we do as well is make sure the handle is shifted right in the center between the transfers, because you do want to make sure that the transfer is going to get sublimated correctly on both sides. So we have a little bit of bleed right here, and then we have a little bit of a bleed on the bottom. Now we're just going to go ahead and tape this down, and tape this down as well. Now we're ready to sublimate. Here we're going to go ahead and set our temperature and time for our mug press. Out of the box, they should already be preset to the correct setting, but if it's not, here's how to set it. So in our screen here, we have PV, what is known as present value, and we have SV, what is known as set value. You want to make sure that your SV is set correctly so that the PV can reach to the correct setting. So we're going to start by pressing OK once. That's going to go to Fahrenheit. We're going to click OK again. And from here, this is our temperature value. So we're going to bring this up to about 385 degrees. You can hold it or click it several times until you get to the right setting. Press OK again. Now here's going to be for our time. For this application, you want to make sure it's 385 for 190 seconds. Once you're done, press OK. And from here, you're going to see our temperature start to rise up to our SV value. Now that our temperature has climbed up to our SV setting, we're going to go ahead and insert the mug in correctly. Right here is very important to make sure your mug is inserted evenly, because if you're off by just a little bit, you can get some fading on the edges. So one thing you want to do is, as you're holding this down, use your other hand to close it, but don't completely close it until you make sure that the handle is right in the center of this element. So we're going to go there and make sure that's straight. So now that we know that it's straight, we're just going to go ahead and pretty much close the mug just like this. All right, we have just about 5 seconds left, and our sublimation transfer should be finished now. Just go ahead and open it back up. And you're going to have a lot of smoke here, but that's okay, because once you open this, you'll realize your sublimation transfer is fully finished. And just let the smoke disappear, and I would wait about 30 seconds to a minute until you can actually take this tape off. So we're gonna let it sit for a bit. Okay, now that the smoke has disappeared, we're gonna go ahead and just grab one side of this paper and tape and start peeling it. The color of the paper should look something like this, where it has a nice light brown color to it. For any reason there's no color like this, your transfer may not have sublimated all the way through. If it's any darker than this, your temperature might be a little too hot. You always want to stay within about 385 degrees from 3 to 4 minutes. Sometimes when you're working with darker color images and the paper color is darker, your transfer might look a little overcooked. And in that case, you want to tone it down just a bit. But this is just about the color you should be getting. And as you can see, the sublimation transfer was completely successful, and you do have a full bleed from top to bottom all the way through. If you have any further questions, feel free to give us a call at 1-800-215-0894 or just visit our website at heatpressnation.com.